Hi everyone, I'm Amber. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are reviewing Hocus Pocus 2. Um, I dressed up as Sarah Sanderson not for this video, but I decided to film this video today. Was gonna film it yesterday, but felt more in the mood for it to be today since I was gonna dress up as her for an event that I had with the kids. But yeah, I really liked this movie. It was not, compared to the first one, I guess you could say it was more of like a Disney Channel movie compared to like a movie. It was still quite good. Um, in terms of like a Disney Channel movie, I thought it was quite good with the resources they had and everything. But in terms of it being like an actual movie, like there were some plot holes, and there was some plot holes created from things from the first movie that were not fully explained. I think they were fine left unexplained, and they tried to explain them, and it was just like we could have done without that. But overall, it was a very cute, very spooky, family friendly movie. I guess we should just start with like how it starts. So we start off, we're in Old Salem, and we're getting all the witchy vibes, and I'm loving it. And then we see Winifred and the Sanderson sisters, and Winifred has just been told that she has to marry um, one of the local boys, and she refuses. But the Reverend is saying that she has to marry him, or it will result in grave consequences, and she's just her own person. I love how we depict these beautiful young women as just like strong and not necessarily evil in this movie. And we love them just because they're just so relatable and so strong and fiercely independent as is. But of course, in the first movie, they're evil, you know. As evil as you can be in this family-friendly spooky movie. And I think this one I missed a little bit of that, but then we also got a lot of something else that I really liked, which was this young independence, this showing really more of like their childhood and their hearts and like what lies within like their their history and their hearts, basically, what really motivates them and drives them and what keeps them together. I think those are all really important things that were really essential to this movie. I just wish we could have gotten a little bit of what the first movie was and seen maybe more of a progression um, into it, because it felt kind of forced or thrown in there. The whole she really loves her sisters, we're seeing like what's really in her heart kind of thing. The whole familial aspect, unity, friendship, all that. I think it just kind of needed to be tied in a little bit more. I wanted to see maybe it more progressional with like character development or something. Nonetheless, it was a good movie. Um, and I loved that the sisters were just even more goofy. The whole like they just kind of start singing thing was a little weird. I was just like, why? Like, why does this need? Okay, but it was a Disney Channel movie, so it's fine. Though I feel like we've seen this in the Disney Channel movie where they're like, why are they singing? And it's like, they're just singing, you know. Not that the songs were bad. I do feel like they should have came up with a different song instead of singing one way or another. Um, it was good, but I was just like, why? Um, I just put a spell on you is such an iconic moment, and them being on stage controlling these people, and you expected another really iconic moment again, and it just kind of didn't happen. It fell a little flat for me. um I think their entrance song was the song for them, and where they were singing like the witches are back, and like that should have been more of a thing. I don't know. And then like Come Little Children, like we didn't have any moments where it was like Sarah singing. Like I just kind of wanted a little more of that. And then I just felt like their voices just didn't exactly hit as much. I mean, they're older. I'm not saying that they can't sing, but like, obviously, like they're actresses who have amazing voices and everything. So I think it was just kind of the content that was given to them. That being said, it's okay. Um, and so in the beginning, they like stick together. You know, they are forced to leave Salem. They go, they find this witch in the woods, and she has lost her coven. But the whole thing in the end was that like they need each other to like survive. This witch seemed to be doing just well on her own. I'm just saying. So I don't know. I saw something on TikTok saying that like her colors of her dress was kind of tying into Danny's original. I do love that they brought up the names of the. I would have liked them to be there. The original, I guess, duo, trio, right? And then we count Binks. Four of them. But apparently the dress was like kind of like representing her colors of like her original dress, which I didn't understand. Like at first, they made it seem like that was Danny, but it's like that's not Danny, obviously, because it's like, but it's like just kind of like, I guess, adding a little something for the fans. But I didn't see the need in that. I felt it could have been like hinted somewhere else. But I thought like she was gonna have more practice, like kind of finding her magic and stuff. She just kind of read a spell and it just kind of happened. Um, I don't know, like I just didn't feel like that worked for me. Like, and it was it just this. This is the vibe I got from this movie. Was it just Winifred who was the witch and like the sisters like? Because when it came to Becca, she was the witch, but then her friends like could also say the spell like because she shared the magic with her. Did Winifred share them? Were the sisters witches then, or was it just Winifred? Because on the beginning, when like a witch turned 16 and she turned 16, they told her, "Oh, you smell particularly interesting." Like, it wasn't the rest of them, or did I just imagine that? Was it the rest of them? Because then, when they do the Unity kind of spell for Winifred, they all get powers, and they didn't originally all have those lightning powers. Now that I think about it, and it was just like this was not. Why did you do this to me? You created something that didn't need to be there, and now I'm just like, well, then now I have questions. But yeah, but Sarah did the luring, so I would assume, and then they all like drank, sucked in like the essence, the soul of the children. So maybe I'm not sure how this works. Um, but like the three of them are like a coven basically, and then Becca and her friends are a coven. And then the book has emotions in this movie. And that was a little strange. But it was cute at the same time. Where like the book was like, I thought the book was just evil. You know, it didn't really. It just kind of did what Winifred wanted it to. Like that's what it seemed like in the first one, and like in this one in the beginning, it kind of seemed like it. And then the book was like kind of like trying for them not to use the dark spell, Unity spell, and was like kind of like trying to warn Winifred, and then it wanted to go with Becca in the end, and then like it was fine, but it was gonna miss Winifred. So that shows me that there was like something more, like there was some sort of like